The Isla Paradiso Bunch, episode 75. Hello, Carrots here, welcome. In this episode we're picking up from where we left off in episode 74. The travellers are Craig, Diana, Geri, Hayley, Jeannie, Josephine, Sam and Wendy. If you haven't watched episode 74 already, you may wish to watch it now because episode 75 picks up in the middle of a tomb. They started clearing in episode 74. In episode 74, Craig was sleeping while Sam collected 2 of the 4 crescent keystones that they need. He's cleared the traps on one side of the tomb and he started clearing the traps that they need to clear to get to the 3rd crescent keystone. Now Sam is very tired and ready to go to sleep, but Craig has woken up, so Craig can take over from this point on, and Sam is going to bed to have a sleep. He can use the beds that he's found in the first room that he opened. Craig slept in his swag overnight. And this is where we ended episode 74. From now on in, it's all new. Craig had some dried food for breakfast after changing into his everyday outfit. It's time for him to get to work. This tomb that they're completing is the tomb where Dong Huo hid his treasure, and they're looking for Dong Huo's gold. It's the final tomb that this group will be completing in China, and Craig is determined to collect the final part of the Chinese tomb collection, which is in this tomb. He's going to push that red pushable statue all the way to the end of this hallway, just in case there's still some more traps along the way, because the pushable statue will disarm any of the traps that it touches. Well, it's found one there that was an electricity trap. Sometimes I think this tomb shows you different traps at different places, and sometimes I think that maybe I'm just imagining that, but I'm sure there was a lot more traps in this part of the tomb last time I did it, which is why I'm about to get Craig to push that statue all the way down the hallway to the left. So he won't pull it, he'll push it, because I'm expecting to find more traps. One of the terracotta warriors there standing guard. There's probably a hidden door along that wall to the left, somewhere near where that terracotta soldier is standing. But before he goes there, we need to investigate what's going to happen in this room, as there is a hidden door in that wall, and Craig needs to reveal it and go through it. There it is, he's found it, it's opening. Lucky he's got Pangu's axe in his pocket. There's some rubble piles. That's something, fortunately, that Sam didn't come across while he was going through the earlier parts of the tomb that he's already cleared. These are the first rubble piles we've found in this tomb so far. So what's he got there? That he's going to pick up, that statue you can see there, that is the final piece of the Chinese tomb collection. It's a symbol of Dong Huo's treasure trove, I think it's what it's called. And he got a money bag as well. There's another rock pile that he's got to smash to get into that sarcophagus, which fortunately does not contain a mummy. So he's just going to get a bit of treasure out of it. This room is quite small, so it's a bit hard to video it from this angle. I mean, there's Craig getting the treasure out of that sarcophagus, and there is a pile of ancient coins on that end table in the corner, or a pedestal, whatever it is. So there is treasure in that sarcophagus. Craig's getting all he can of it. Now he can go and collect that pile of ancient coins. So that's this room complete. Now let's go and see if we can find a hidden door in that other wall that's near the terracotta warrior. Go and inspect that wall. He's found the door. It's opening. Now he can go through and collect all the treasure and hopefully find a way into that other little room that's inside the room that he's going into now. Because there must be a crescent keystone in here somewhere. There's a couple of treasure chests, 3 treasure chests at least, and a floor switch and some ancient coins. So he's got a vase out of that treasure chest. Hopefully that floor switch will open up a door in that other room. It's doing something. Yes, there it is. It's opened up that door. So we're going to have to go back into that other side of that room now. But he can collect the rest of the treasure in this side of it first. He's got the piece of the tomb collection that he needed. That is a sarcophagus, a fragment, and a vase. There's some more ancient coins on the floor and a treasure chest to open. The treasure chest got a broken bowl and a money bag in it. Another one, another pile of ancient, and a huge pile of ancient coins there near the treasure chest. Wow. Now he can go back around into this other room where he can collect a few things, including a crescent keystone. He's gone in the door. That door's open now, that he couldn't even see it before. It wasn't even showing as a possible door before. There's the crescent keystone. He's got to collect that. That's the third one. The first one Craig's collected. Sam's got 2 of them in his inventory. We need to see this room from above. It's just so tiny. Got a money bag and a broken vase by the look of it. Big broken vase. A broken plate or something. It was broken. So that's the tomb that they've opened up so far. There's still lots of dark bits in there. The bottom 2 rooms is work that Sam did by himself. Then he started on this one that Craig's in now, but then he got too tired to continue. And it looks like there's another room just there. That'll be where the 4th keystone is. So there's the 4 spots for the 4 crescent keystones. But Craig wants to use the keystones he's already got. Since Sam's asleep, I'll transfer his 2 crescent keystones into Craig's inventory so Craig can use them. Enabled a floor switch pressure pad for Craig to stand on. 1 floor trap's gone now, though, from the hallway. Disarmed it. Now we can use Sam's 2 keystones to see what happens next. There's plenty of terracotta warriors in that hallway, and I can see a red pushable statue down the end of the hallway as well. So there's another floor switch enabled. Disarm some more floor trap. Another floor switch enabled. So he's used up all of the keystones they've found so far. He still can't get down to that red pushable statue, even though all of the floor traps have been disarmed. There's still one working. All three of the floor traps have been disarmed, but they need the 4th keystone, and that must be in this room that's still dark. And there are lots of floor traps that Craig's got to get through now. To disarm the obvious one first, he's going to have to search for the rest. That one's done. Now there's one right beside it you've got to do, Craig. That hole in the floor there, you could dig in that. That might disarm it for him. Just got to find it. Probably don't even have to find it. There it is. Found it. Now will that hole in the floor disarm it? Got it. Yeah, well, don't celebrate too soon. You got a whole lot more of them to find yet. Lots of statues that look like they're pushable statues, but they're not pushable, which is a shame. Aha, another hole in the wall. Wonder what it will do. The sarcophagus fragment. It's a tight squeeze as usual. Let's look in from above. Yeah, it looks like it's a trap in front of that statue. Better test that floor, inspect that floor, Craig, see what it's doing. Found it. Now can you disarm it? Is that disarmed? Looks like it is. Another one over there. Inspect the floor there. Found another one. Can you disarm that one? I think Sam will be waking up soon. Darts trap. But is it disabled? And walk around it. Obviously it's not disabled. Not disarmed yet. Oh, he walked into another one. Darts got him. Craig didn't know he was going to take that big detour around. He obviously failed with his attempt to disarm it. But Craig's having a snooze. It's what happens when you get darted. You're going to wake up with the moodlet of fear. He's awake. And he's frightened now. No, he's not going to disarm that trap. As a matter of fact, he's not going to disarm any traps. Where's Sam? Come on, Sam, wake up. We need you. Here comes Sam, in his jammies still. He was a good Sam to just come running straight away, wasn't he? Craig's just making sure we realise he's too frightened to do anything. Success! Sam got that one. Now get into your proper clothes, Sam. You don't want to do all this tomb adventuring in your jammies. What was that about? He just cleared the trap for you. You were too scared to do. What's that hole in the wall going to achieve? Get Sam starting to disarm that trap. Looks like Craig disarmed it with the hole in the wall, but Sam has failed to notice that, so he's going to continue trying to disarm it. How about you go through that door, Craig? See what's in there. We might find what we're looking for. A crescent keystone. Well, I can see some heaps of ancient coins glittering in there. There's the crescent keystone. And he's walked into a trap. Steam trap. There's plenty of treasure in this room. Can collect all the treasure until he's calmed down enough to disarm that trap. He's dripping from the steam. Lots of Chinese vases in there. They must be part of the Chinese vase collection, I think. They've got 5 of them already back in Isla Paradiso. They need 1 more to complete the collection. Now he's going to get down on the floor and try to disarm the trap that way. Don't know if that's going to do him any good. Attempt to cross. No, he's going to attempt to cross that way. It worked. Now go pick up that keystone. Got it. Now get the last of those piles of ancient coins and we can get to work with the keystone. I hope they got all the traps. I'd hate to think he was going to walk on another one after all that. Go and put your keystone in the keyhole, Craig. Then we'll be able to get down that hallway and move that red statue. The last of the fire's gone out. So you can go down there. It looks like there's some pushable statues between you and the red statue, so pull them out of the way. Lots of warriors along this hallway. Watched a show on TV about them. They're talking about how it looks like the ancient Greeks introduced the ancient Chinese to making lifelike statues. Interesting, and not relevant to what we're doing here. Looks like there's something in behind that red statue. There's a floor switch. And it's a type of floor switch that you've got to push a statue onto. Or you could stand on it. Trouble is you have to stay standing on it, which won't be very good if he's got to get off it to go and collect his treasure. It's done something. I think you better get off it, Craig, and push that red statue back onto it. Watch that door down below with a chain on it. See, chain came off. He can get through that door now. That's why we had to get all those 4 crescent keystones just to get in that door. But it's the big room. And there's the sparkly treasure chest. I'll get Craig to clear the rooms at the top of the screen. And I'll get Sam to clear the rooms at the bottom of the screen. There's a hole on the floor behind those chairs on the right. He's got a money bag and the relic that he's after. That belongs to the family of the sim that sent him here. So he's got the thing to deliver, he just needs to be able to deliver it. Another treasure chest. Mercury in a broken vase. So Craig can go and collect all those treasures, and Sam can come in and collect some treasures. Might as well burn a bit of incense while you're at it. Opened a door. It must be the escape hatch. I see Sam on the other side there collecting things. But Craig can go through the door now. He's finished. Oh look, there's more statues. To go and push and pull them a bit. I've moved them around a lot. I've never yet worked out what they're for. Hey, look, there's a treasure chest behind it. grey treasure chest. Oh, you need your Pangoose axe now, Craig. You gotta clear that rubble pile, get into that treasure chest. Just the Chinese vase of life. It's part of the Chinese vases collection. I hope that's the one that they were missing. They've got 5 of 6 already. Another rubble pile. An empty rubble pile. Nothing there. Let's go report in, Craig. You can do that now. Yes, and you can. You're going to report into Bao Louie. Very good. We are going to be able to complete the adventure. As they file slowly out of the tomb. So Craig's going to head off to report into Bao Louie now. And since it's night time, I might just let Sam go home and have a sleep. Eventually Craig made it to Bao Louie's place and reported in, delivered the artefact that he'd found in the treasure chest in the tomb. Naturally, Bao Louie was very happy to receive it, and Craig got paid a total of 280 ancient coins as a reward and an increased relationship with Bao Louie. It was 120 ancient coins plus 160 ancient coins, and one of those ancient coin amounts would be for what he would have got as visa points, except he's already got to level 3, so he can't get any more visa points. And then he raced off home, where Sam has already gone. And when he got home to the house near the 3 waterfalls, Craig went fishing. Everybody else was sleeping, of course. And later on, when Craig finally did go to sleep, the rest of the household were waking up. Of course, he decided he'd sleep in his swag rather than his bed. They each have a bed assigned to them, so there's no need for Craig to sleep on the floor, but he did. Maybe he enjoyed being in the tomb. For anyone who's not sure what a swag is, it's an Australian term for a bedroll originally. It used to, if you know the Australian song Waltzing Matilda, that's "Once a Jolly Swagman" is the first line of that song, and it was a person who walked through the countryside carrying his belongings in his swag, which was his bedroll with everything wrapped up in it. These days, it also applies to small tents. The Sims woke up and went down to have breakfast and found the kitchen was flooded. The sink broke during the night. Josephine set to work trying to fix it, and she gained a level of handiness skill in the process, so that was good for her, but it didn't do anything for the sink. It continued to spurt water all over the kitchen. So in the end, I found I had to replace the sink for them. So then, of course, there was a parade of Sims examining the new sink. And Josephine is a genie, so I got her to make the whole house clean and sparkly, and that cleaned up a pool of water on the kitchen floor. And Sam came down to make pancakes or something for breakfast. Sam made a good start on his breakfast, but he was interrupted and soon forgot about it when little Geri came down to have a chat with him. Fortunately, when Geri sat down to have a chat with her imaginary friend instead, Sam remembered about cooking. And it's not pancakes, it's waffles. Diana was very excited about getting a new sink, and then she didn't want the waffles that Sam's cooking. She had a morsel of dried food for her breakfast. It was much quicker that way. Time for a little chat with Geri. Sam's waffles were soon finished, and he placed them on the kitchen bench so the whole family could help themselves if they were hungry and happened to want waffles for breakfast. He's getting pretty good with his waffles now. Josephine's finally realised it's a new sink, and she's had a bit of a celebration too. Jeannie and Hayley still had fish to catch for their opportunities, so they went fishing in the pond at the back of the house just near the waterfall, where all of the fish that they needed to catch were available. Little Geri went out to fish with them. She's working on her fishing skill. I think she's about to level 5 at this point. She'll soon get up to level 6, and so will Wendy. Once they get to level 7, they will be able to read all of the fishing books to learn the bait for all of the fish. Josephine had already caught the fish she needed to catch and set off to deliver them to Abayet Sen. And when she delivered, Abayet Sen gave her 30 visa points, 1,080 simoleons and 20 ancient coins. And now she is almost up to level 2 with her visa points. Sam had fish to deliver too, and I was surprised to see him emerge in his career outfit. I didn't realise that they would be in the lifeguard career while in the World Adventure Worlds. And Josephine's been to the adventure board and got herself another Fish of the Scholar adventure, so she's going fishing again. Well, that's good. She's working on her visa points and her fishing skill at the same time. Back at home, most of the household are out at their back pond catching fish. Some need to catch fish for their adventures. Craig's just fishing because he wants to go fishing, and the two little girls are working on their fishing skill. So really it's just Hayley and Jeannie who are trying to catch fish to deliver for their visa points. Diana had a different adventure. She's been out collecting bits of copper, and she needs to deliver, I think it's 7 smelted copper bars. So she's come home to smelt her copper so she can complete her adventure. Meanwhile, Sam's arrived at the market and is delivering his fish. Hearts. Pink hearts. Interesting. He's got to deliver them to Hui Young Kim. After delivering the fish, Sam was 86% to level 2. So he sat down to celebrate with a bit of snake charming. Josephine and Diana had deliveries to make, but back at home, Jeannie had some problem that she needed to solve on the computer. Josephine and Sam went to check the adventure board for another adventure. While there, they met up and got into a bit of a difficult conversation. They don't get on at all, these two. They're totally in the red as far as their relationship with each other is concerned. Josephine got an opportunity to go and find some raw mercury. I think Sam's still waiting to get his new adventure. It was dark before Jeannie was ready to deliver her fish, and she couldn't find Lu Ji at home, but she finally tracked it down to the tomb of the first emperor. This is the tomb that Judy did a few episodes ago. Jeannie got 30 visa points, 1,140 simoleons, and 20 ancient coins. She's now 46% to level 2 visa in China. Jeannie tried to go to sleep at the base camp but ended up getting abducted by aliens. Sam was snake charming somewhere off in the dark. The Sims have got 7 more days in China, and I'm going to keep them there for that length of time, but I'm not going to show you all of the adventures they're doing because they're just building up their visa points, and the little girls are developing skills and getting a little bit older than the Plant Sim boys will be when we age them up. It's about to turn autumn, and the colours are going to be stunning in this world shortly, so we'll have a look at some beautiful autumn colours and some fascinating parties that Diana gets invited to. Little girls have started reading their fishing books on their multi-tabs. A stray cat wandered by and we adopted it, so there's now another cat in the household. I'm hoping this one gets on better with Judy than the kitty cat that they've already got. The little girls made even better friends, and they had the time now to play and just be little girls, running around together playing tag and enjoying the sunshine. It's almost time for the weather to change, and we'll soon see autumn leaves in China. But for the moment it's still nice and sunny and warm, so the girls are enjoying being in the outdoors. The young adults are all still trying to get their visa points up, except for Craig, of course, but I won't show you too much more of that, only if the scenery is pretty, like in this one where Diana has gone to the adventure board and you can see the autumn leaves. And here is Diana. Now she got another fishing adventure. She's gone back to the abandoned barn, so we can have a nice view of the abandoned barn in autumn in China. The moon is rising and you can see it reflected in the pond. The light is just beautiful. Josephine is desperately seeking 3 pieces of jade. She's waited a few days and she's only found 1 piece lying on the ground, so she's driven to actually go dig for it. And she does eventually get her 3 pieces of jade, and she is able to deliver them and get her visa points. The 2 little girls kept up their fishing in the pond behind the house until eventually they managed to get to level 10. First of all, Wendy got to level 10, and the following day, Geri made it. They also had a stint of fishing at Han's orchard, and their mother, Hayley, went with them and did some harvesting and improved her gardening skill. Luckily she did that because the girls got hungry and she was able to give them each some cherries to eat. Hayley had a fish delivery to make, and she made it to the very top of the highest point in China, and she got a beautiful view of all of the autumn leaves across the world in the late afternoon sun. And she got more visa points. After making her delivery, Hayley went back to the adventure board to get her next adventure, where she bumped into her fiancé, Salty, who seems to be following her around the various World Adventure Worlds whenever she goes adventuring. He doesn't seem to be very happy to encounter her, though, and they started out with a bit of an argument, but things seem to settle down after a while. Salty looks like he's gained weight to me. He doesn't look like the normal trim Salty that we're used to seeing. His face in particular and his legs look quite chubby for Salty. They parted quite peacefully in the end. I got a notification that Diana had been invited to a party and she'd better attend, so I clicked for her to go to the party, and then after a while I went to check up on her and found her raking leaves, and she was the only guest at the party, and her host was there, and that was when I realised it was the night of the full moon, because he went to his fridge and he got out some brains. It was obvious to me that he'd been turned into a zombie, so I sent her home. I thought, that's not much of a party. Actually, I had a bit of a panic and couldn't get her out of there fast enough. Fortunately, she didn't come across any more zombies on her way home, and this bloke was so interested in eating his brains he wasn't worried about her at all, yet, thank goodness. When I sent Diana home, I went back to the house and found their pond that they'd been fishing in had frozen over, so I sent the little girls outside to do some skating on the pond. I was surprised to discover that the little genies were actually skating with skates. I would normally expect genies, I thought, to be floating around in a cloud of pink light, but no, they had their skates on and they skated, and they kept up skating until they both maximised the skating skill. They didn't do any tricks or anything, which was a bit disappointing, and I couldn't work out how to ask them to do any tricks, but I did keep getting notifications that they were now able to skate backwards and spin and do all sorts of things. So that was something I had that was unexpected. It's a hidden skill, but I did get a notification that for each of them that they had maximised it, so they can't improve their ice skating skill anymore. And that's a skill my Sims don't often get. Now here is Jeannie reporting into Bao Louie, and I thought this was worth showing because of this looking over the city with all the autumn trees again. Another night and another party. Diana seems to get invited to all the parties. Why they are all in their swimming outfits when there's no pool on the lot, I don't know. But that's it. Everybody seems to be in their swimmers. This happens to be the last night in Shang Simla, and while Diana is at this party, she gets sent home because it's time for them to return to Isla Paradiso. At least there were no zombies at this party. I don't think she was enjoying herself a lot. She just whipped out her laptop and started playing computer games at the table. So we'll leave it here at Diana's party as a ghost story in progress. This will be the end of this episode. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. As I said, they've all got all of the young adults have got visa points of 2 or above for China now. That is the young adults that came to China this time. Craig and Sam are both on level 3 and the others are on level 2. And the little girls, of course, haven't started yet. So thank you for watching, and bye-bye for now, and happy simming.